very similar to mixed use. Multifamily, it's 5 unit and above. Okay, 5 unit and above. Now, with multifamily, um, if the multifamily is stabilized, they're getting market rent, and they are over 80% occupancy rate. That building will get the best rate in term um, and LTV. So for something like this, we can definitely go with a Fannie Mae, Fannie Mac loan, can go all the way up to 80% LTV. And interest rate, I believe I need to check. Okay, so last week when I check, the best interest rate that I've ever seen is about 6%. But that's last week. I don't know about this week. Got to be a little bit higher. So that it's multifamily. But of course, we also need to look at the occupancy rate. If the occupancy rate is less than 75%, then they will consider that is not a stabilized property. Or if some of the multifamily are in a rent control zone, for example, in California, in Bay Area, so on and so forth. So even though the value of the property is very high, but a lot of those tenants have been living in that property for the last 10, 20 years, and they are still paying $1,000, $1,500, whatever that might be for the rent, even though the market rent is already at 2,000, 3,000. So again, we're seeing a lot of multifamily in California or especially in the Bay Area. It just cannot get it done. It's just because the rent is very low, even though the value of the property is high. Okay, so that is something that we need to pay attention to. Same thing with New York. I think in New York there are a few areas that is rent control. So don't be surprised. A lot of people come to us saying, "Hey, how come my property worth about $2 million and you can only give me 30%?" It's just because the rent is it's 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 not there. However, if you're looking for a short-term loan, then we can give you more money that will base on the value of the property instead of the income of the property. But bridge loan, as we all know, it's a short-term note, 24 months, maximum 36 months, then you have to figure out how to get out. Okay. But multifamily, it definitely is one of the good asset out there. A lot of lender love multifamilies.